What's up? I'm Melody, and we're here in the Sneak Peek studio to talk about the Oscar nominations that released last week. We're going to have some of our most high profile sneak peekers talk about the subject. All right, so let's call one of them to the stage right now. Come on up, Samia. Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So let's talk Oscars. What are the worst snubs?
Honestly, I think given how stacked the lineup of films were for 2023, I think it was near impossible to avoid snubs. But with that being said, there were a lot of films that were nominated for so many Oscars but missed in places where I think they should have been nominated. Like, take Zone of Interest, for example. Got so many nominations, but somehow missed score, which was really crazy to me because the score made up a lot of, like, the intensity of the film, and it really contributed to what made the film so effective. So I was really surprised that it missed that. Also, Killers of the Flower Moon got so many nominations, but somehow missed adapted screenplay, which I did not understand because a lot of what made that movie so good was the fact that they diverted from the point of view from the original book. So I don't know why they made those choices, but I understand a lot of the choices they made. Like, a lot of people said Barbie was snubbed, but I think it got too many nominations.
Wow. A little bit of a hot take. And on that note, I mean, you were talking about how some movies got nominated for categories that didn't get nominated for categories that you think should have gotten nominated. So, what categories do you think were the most like correct, and what categories do you think were the most far off?
I would say Best Animated Feature was incredibly strong this year. I'm really happy Boy and the Heron made it, Across the Spider-Verse, again, like great films. I was also really happy that Nimona made it, given the
Yeah.
way that Disney almost like prevented that film from being released, and then it got nominated over a lot of Disney films.
Wish.
Yeah. I didn't see it. I don't intend on it. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of snubs, Once Upon a Studio did not get in the short film category. That was really surprising to me. But anyway, thank you, Samia. Let's go ahead and bring up our next guest. Come on in, Gavin.
Hey, Melody.
Hey, what's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, snubs?
Snubs. I do have to agree with Samia. This was a very packed year for movies, and I think that you could look to countless movies for snubs, but there were a few in particular that I was really, really hoping would win at least some kind of nomination. Asteroid City was a big one that I felt was kind of looked over, especially in production design, original song, costume, and makeup. I thought that the Iron Claw absolutely had a very strong awards chance, and it just kind of fell in sort of an unfortunate timing with A24 going all in on Past Lives and Zone of Interest. But I think in another year we would have seen probably a lot more for that one. Um, I really wish that we saw a nomination for Andrew Scott for All of Us Strangers. I thought his performance in that movie was fantastic. But again, I understand with the categories being as loaded as they are, it's just impossible to fit everyone.
Yeah, and talking about loaded categories, what category do you think is the most competitive this year?
That is a great question. I think that we are seeing a lot of really competitive categories. I think that the run for Best Adapted Screenplay is one that is pretty up in the air with Oppenheimer, Barbie, Poor Things. You know, we're seeing, I would even argue, Best Supporting Actor is one that's had a very tight race.
Surprises too.
Yeah, there's been a lot of surprises, I think, in the nominees. I don't think a lot of people were expecting Ryan Gosling to break through the group of nominees. And on that note, I do wish Charles Melton was also included. But, we also have strong roles from Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., just a lot of talent in that category. And I'm really not sure where it's going to end up.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait until the Oscars.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Gavin. I'm gonna kick you out and bring out the next guest. That was the wrong way, but it's okay. All right, come on, Brandon. Hey, how are you doing?
Fantastic. I'm so excited to be here tonight.
I'm so excited to have you. So, you know the drill. What are the worst snubs?
Well, when it comes to worst snubs, there's one big movie that really comes to mind for me, and that is May December. Literally, I mean, at least the Oscars had the decency to give May December one nomination for original screenplay. But I mean, come on. Natalie Portman's performance, Julianne Moore's performance, and of course, Twitter's favorite supporting actor, Charles Melton, also had a fantastic performance in that movie. And I just think it's crazy that none of them got in. And I mean, moving past the performances, which again cannot overstate how incredible those performances were, you have the score for the movie, which I just found was fantastic. No, yeah, it's so fun. It's so like wildly dramatic and over the top, and it's a really bold choice. And I think we should be rewarding these kinds of artistic, bold gambles, and not. I don't know. I mean, there were a lot of really good scores this year.
I'm still mad that Boy and the Heron didn't get a mention, but it's whatever. It's forgiven. So thank you so much, Brandon, for joining us. We're going to have to cut our time short, but thank you again. And thank you guys for tuning in. Bye.